Sentodake is a sacred mountain asceticism spot said to be the location visited in the Nara era for spiritual training by the Bodhisattva Ninmon, who was thought to be an incarnation of the god Usahachiman, who'd later died there. Anthony Gormley walked this land and dreamed up another time after deeply experiencing the history and spirit of the Kunisaki Peninsula. The best way to experience this installation is to walk the approximately 1-hour entrance path from the shrine gate at the mountain base to the Sentoji temple remains. The pair of Neo statues encountered midway. They are the remains from the Gomado Hall of the Sento temple, said to have originally been opened by the Bodhisattva Ninmon in the Rokugo Zen temples. These Neo statues continue to watch over a hall that no longer exists. After ascending the narrow steep stone steps, the inner sanctuary awaits. To the side, the cave where the Bodhisattva Ninmon is said to have passed away still remains. The plethora of Mosi Gorinto pagodas are also an amazing sight. Climbing an even more precipitous mountain path atop a rugged, rocky area stands the installation, overlooking a breathtaking ocean panorama. It is a life-size human sculpture made from the form of Gormley's own body. The work was installed here in March 2014. This sculpture made of solid iron changes daily with exposure to the wind and rain. And after many years have passed, this sculpture will revert back to iron dust and return to the earth in this land, once prosperous from iron manufacturing. Installing the work was a major project in and of itself. Initially, the plan was to air transport it by helicopter, but it was heavy at 629 kilograms, and installing it atop sheer rocky terrain was difficult. Thankfully, the local residents came up with a solution. Installation was successfully completed with transport techniques employing cables used in agriculture and foresting. After practicing Buddhist asceticism in India and Sri Lanka, Gormley prayed to Itsutsuji Fudoson and descended the mountain road. Looking out from the rock area where the sculpture stands, it looks like multiple valleys stretch out into the sea. Numerous valleys were carved into the Kunisaki Peninsula by volcanic activity of the past. Individual settlements developed along these valleys, fostering their own culture and faiths. Is this statue, which faces the east on Sentodake, once known as the Western Koyasan, gazing upon that scenery? A residential area filled with traditional Japanese houses. Amidst the panorama of houses executing an ambience of daily life, stands Rachel Whiteread's work. Kunisaki House is the first permanent installment in Japan from this leader of the modern UK art scene. Whiteread is known for the technique of casting that gives shape to objects in space. She eternalizes informed things without shape and things that could disappear and be lost. And at times, she casts her eyes upon issue society faces. At Kunisaki Peninsula, she poured concrete into the interior of an unoccupied house that had lost its owner and froze time inside that space. Kunisaki Peninsula has a deep-rooted culture of Shimbutsu Shugo, a fusion of Shinto and Buddhism. The custom of lining up a Shinto and Buddhist altar side by side at the same height is one example of such, and this house just did that. Tsurugawa, where this installment is located, is the central area of Kunisaki City. In recent years, population decreasing and aging has progressed, and Kunisaki House tells of this fact. But people living today can encounter this installment, cast their thoughts to the time when this house was being used, and let their memories freely travel where they may. This island is named Manose due to its shape reminiscent of a horse's back. It is a beautiful spot to experience a tumble landform where the path between land and island is only present at low tide. There is a cave on the island that has been weathered away by the waves. Crossing is only possible for several hours during the ebb tide. Shimabuku's installation Manose gives us the joy of experiencing this wonderful location instead of merely observing it. Acting out the words affixed onto the levee wall creates a special landscape, only visible in that moment. This is because the area will be covered by the ocean once more. And when the pathway becomes visible again, it will be an entirely new scene. Incidentally, the stones with holes in them are the remnants of creatures living here who dig holes in stones. Travelers add their own touch to these sculptures crafted by the natural world, and the Manase scenery continues to gradually change. Enjoy your own introspective time and scenery that feels like returning to childhood. At the edge of a levee, a single lamppost that has been sleeping for a long time has started to breathe again. The rhythm of the light turning on and off, as if breathing silently in sleep, exudes the feeling of life. The lightless lamppost was a symbol of the dwindling township. The town has faded compared to its prosperous and bustling days from its fishing industry, and most young people have continued to leave the area. And yet, this light turns on so they can come back home someday, anytime. The artist for this installment, Shimabuku, relit the lamppost and rekindled its breath, so it would become a symbol of hope as a signpost illuminating the place to return to, like a lighthouse. In its past, Kunisaki Peninsula was connected to the world through the ocean. It was a land that intersected with all sorts of peoples and cultures. May travelers visit many different lands and always come back here. When the veil of night falls, a line of light springs up along Oita Airport area, Mount Gyeonyama. Artist Shimabuku installed a completely new kind of handrail along the stairless entrance path leading to Yasaka Shrine at the summit. After sunset, when the lights on this handrail turn on, a pathway of light appears, creating the effect of a runway leading out into the universe. On a clear day, the beautiful morning sun is viewable from the summit. Pick up a rock and go up the path. Shimabuku is an artist who travels the world and explores through his artwork the theme of the lifestyles and culture of local people and new ways of communication. The stones creating a circle at the summit, like a necklace dedicated to the mountain, are stones Shimabuku himself collected from different areas around the world. As travelers who come here pile up stones brought from all over, this installation work gradually grows and grows. Gyeonyama provides a panoramic view of the Sea of Kunisaki. Tracing the outline of that sea, Shimabuku has created 4 installation works revolving around the ocean. Jobutsuji is well known as a temple that continues the traditional Shujo Onie festival, an old Kunisaki Peninsula tradition. The nearby Jobutsu Iwakage Iseki is a remnant of the Jomon era, where lives were lived approximately 10,000 years ago. A giant stone wall amidst the trees. Just as ascetics of the past carved images of the Buddha into stone in solemn prayer, Tatsuo Miyajima installed his own modern interpretation into the stone Buddha practice here. Miyajima has created works using LED digital counters in over 30 countries. He completed the 100 Live Houses installment in a workshop format in consultation with Jobutsu area residents. In the approximately 30-meter tall and 16-meter wide stone wall were installed 100 small houses and 100 LED digital counters. Each counter counts at a different speed. 100 participants, including local residents, foreign students, and people gathering from all over the country, set their own speeds for each counter. The counters count from 1 to 9, blink out at 0, and start counting from 1 again. It is as if the counters signify the lives of people who have lived since olden times onward, and the cycle of life and death. Cast your thoughts upon the flow of eternal time, linking the past to present, and on towards the future, and experience a moment of prayer. In the Kibe region of the town of Kunimi, situated at the northern tip of the Kunisaki Peninsula, remnants of the many Christians living there long ago still remain. Shinto, Buddhism, and then Christianity. Enchanted by this land, which has welcomed different faiths, and in admiration of the life of Petro Kasui Kibe, Tadashi Kawamata created La Sheikh. Since the 1982 Venice Biennale, Kawamata has been a pioneer presence who has steered a Japanese contemporary art world. He is known for a work-in-progress style of staying close to the area and including the creation process as part of the work itself. Amidst the forests of the Petro Kasui Kibe Park, a wooden passageway curves along as if stone. The view opens to a breathtaking panorama of sky and sea linked to the world. Kibe studied theology and Latin at Macau and spent a 3-year journey seeking Rome to be ordinated as a priest. During that grueling journey, he made a pilgrimage to the holy city of Jerusalem. He was the first Japanese person to do so. After returning to Japan, Kibe was active in helping oppressed Christians there. But he was executed as a martyr without ever returning to his birthplace. It is said he never succumbed to torture even to the end and never gave up his faith. Perhaps Kawamata identified Kibe's devotion with his own world travels.